2021 is not immediately going to see the solution to the problems. I think we're facing many difficulties, seen and unforeseen. Yes, the vaccine is being rolled out, and yes, we are hoping that we shall, by the time you see this, not yet, but I'm hoping that we shall come out of lockdown and be able to resume more normal activities. But I'm aware, just as I speak, of the big turmoil in America. We have a lot of difficulty in the UK because we're facing the aftermath of Brexit. But worldwide, we're facing a period that I would say hasn't been seen in a long time. We're going to have to face up to the economic responsibilities of this COVID pandemic. And I don't think anybody has a really clear answer. And strangely enough, we as Christians should be able to have, don't smile or laugh at me when I say it, you and I as Christians should actually have a clearer view of the future than the politicians. You see, the politicians only act in worldly understanding and base an awful lot on past experience. While we base an awful lot on past experience, have a confidence in a God who has seen the future before it happens. And people who know me know this, that at particular times in my life, God has actually revealed the future prophetically, so much so that I tried to describe it once like normally a prophet is standing on Friday or Saturday and trying to prophesy not just Sunday, but the next weeks or the next months ahead. But when God began to reveal prophecy to me, this was before I really moved into Russia, before going into Russia, I described it as preaching in one church, and it is on record, that it was as if I was standing on Monday and looking back on the prophecy being fulfilled in the Sunday. In other words, I felt I was standing on the far side and actually seeing before the prophecy. And in one sense, this is how I see it even now, that prophetically we're seeing this. And I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you very much because I feel that there is one particular verse, and I want to go into Isaiah 30, and I'm going to read from verse 18. And therefore will the Lord wait that he may be gracious unto you. And in doing this, he will be exalted, that he may have mercy on you. For the Lord is a God of judgment, but blessed are they who wait for him. So strangely enough, as we're looking into this coming year, the scripture is very clear that the Lord will wait that he may be gracious unto you. That might sound strange. But in other words, God can't always fulfill what he has for you today, and he has to await to the appropriate time in order to do it. He goes on to say in verse 19, for the people shall dwell in Zion, in Jerusalem. Thou shalt weep no more. So it's the people that dwell in Zion at Jerusalem will weep no more, because he will be very gracious unto you. It says here, at the voice of your cry, when he shall hear it, he will answer. And in verse 20, and though the Lord give you the bread of adversity, and the water of affliction, yet shall not your teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but your eyes shall see your teachers. Now, this is quite an obtuse part of Scripture, but I'm very much sensing it in my life at the moment, because he's saying in verse 20, although the Lord will give you the bread of adversity, so that the portion of your life, the bread of your life, the food, will at one time be adversity, and the water of affliction. Yet shall not your teachers be removed into a corner, but your eyes will see your teachers. In other words, through it, there are teachers and leaders who will have a clear understanding of the future, who will lead you. You see, when I look back at my past life, and there are several things that I can remind you of, and realizing that some of you are not familiar with me, maybe you're only just getting used to my ministry, it is very clear that the Lord, in order to fulfill his purposes, had to take me through adversity. So I saw this, I've already seen this fulfilled in my life, and in a moment I'm going to come on to the future, because I would not be in where I am, seeing the power of the evangelism and seeing the phenomenal miracles, unless several things had happened. One, that I was to have cancer. Without that cancer, I would not be in this ministry. The fact that I had to be put in prison. I mean, you might talk about adversity and suffering. Look, I've had cancer twice. Major cancer, if I can remind you. The first one was the throat cancer in 1964. And the second one was around about the year 2000 when I had lung cancer. And then, of course, in 1972, when I was held for a year in a communist prison. Now, all those things in my life were the bread of adversity and the water of affliction. Yet through it all, God was to bring me through into a very powerful new experience through this. And so it can be when you're a child of God and when you're walking in the will and the knowledge of God, many things that happen in your life which may be painful now are like an instruction, like a teaching to prepare you for the future.